Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you made a great day. We're taking a look here at Solana, of course, double checking a few things. It did end up taking off without the pullback I'd hoped for. I was looking for a 203 to 205 entry. Price, I think, wicked down as low as 206 at the time and never looked back. So this is great news for a lot of folks who are long on this coin. Congrats to our community members who did actually average in after watching my video. I got a couple of thanks this morning here for that. So appreciate hearing that. I love to hear the good feedback. So good looking out. Thanks for that. We'll take a look at Bitcoin's, Solana's back in liquidation data. We already looked at Bitcoin here a moment ago. And I do want to congratulate community here for some nice profits on our SUI long, 32% in 22 hours. We got a Mudang long as well, and we're averaging pretty nicely at 28 upper, basically 29 cents if you will. Congrats too as well for our Chainlink, Matic, Bitcoin. ETH took a small stop loss there, but SUI to recover. So again, awesome stuff there. Congrats there. Let's take a quick look at the back end data here for Solana and kind of just double check. For the last 12 hours here, we can see that majority of the upper liquidation has been swept. There's a little bit left at about 222. Nothing to really write home about. There is, of course, more liquidation on the downside. So if there is a pullback, wouldn't be surprised if we see 205 retested, just based on the fact that there's a decent chunk there. We have the most amount of liquidation at 210 though, so just something to kind of be mindful of. 210 is just below the local low, and it's really common to see that happen. Either way, from a macro perspective, we can see 230 as the next area of concentration. That is some older shorts here from before. Why people are still holding their shorts open. Imagine that. Imagine holding a short open from 230, being in profit all the way down to about 180, and still holding on to eventually get stopped out. That is so crazy. Anyways, those are stop losses too. That isn't exactly, not everyone holding a short is still, holding on for dear life, so to speak, but it's just ridiculous when you see that kind of stuff happen. Anyways, we got a lot of liquidation here for longs. In other words, the overall sentiment for Solana is very much bullish. Okay, so when this gets pretty high like this, it can turn around at some point, but it's kind of new to this area. So even though there's about $1 billion in liquidation delta for longs, it just kind of implies you don't short into that. It's just kind of a foolhardy mistake. Taking a look here, of course, open interest, 196 is that local area. So we got a ton of support at that 200 range at plus or minus $5. Okay, so just know that 195 to 205, heavy support. We see the price retrace and pull back to that level. It'd be a solid consideration for a long. Okay, again, it does depend obviously on the Bitcoin, the market, of course, and how Bitcoin's performing at that time, but it's still worth noting here. Okay. So taking a look here, of course, on the daily time frame, we can see the 50-day SMA hanging out there at about 220, 219. Essentially, the price wicked up to that level and turned around. So again, it's not a resistance level, folks. It just kind of implies that we're not fully bullish on the daily time frame. Being above the 20 to me is that initial catalyst that I think is important to recognize. It is also good to understand too that 196 to 205, what do you know, that little area of open interest we looked at earlier, that essentially has a fair value gap. So if the price does pull back, we could very well see a wick down to 196. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Okay, so there is that factor, but we are over 50 on the RSI. Money flow index is increasing. Stochastics pulling up still. There's a lot of reasons here as to why you don't short into this. We've got like 9 out of 10 contributing factors telling us that we are absolutely back on track, minus being over 220. So I think being over 220, preferably 230, we're going to be off to the races at that point. Between now and then, we may actually range between 210 and 220. Just based on local fib levels, and more important, the initial rejection off that halfway mark, that 220 mark. So I'm not proposing you short at all, but I do think that it would be safe to presume that we're going to retest this local high here of 210 as a potential bottom for the next leg up. So if you were to wait and be a patient person, 210, 203, 196, those are 3 solid considerations for long entries or averaging into your position, which I love to do myself. We're over 70 on the RSI, another reason to not secure profits and to not short into this. You never short into an overextension. I know it sounds crazy because that's what some people seem to think is a valuable option. You might have gotten lucky a couple of times and think that it works out. It's statistically less beneficial in the crypto market that we're in. Okay. Traditionally, any kind of crypto coin that breaks out from 70 in the RSI, specifically on the 4-hour time frame, has a strong propensity to maintain its price point or go higher from there. So you're better off waiting for the price to go higher, even though it probably won't, than to try to short into an overextended coin and to try to get that little scalp. Again, scalping is a different story when you're day trading. If you're going to watch it close, it's all good. But a lot of people seem to think that they can just set it and forget it on a day trade, and that's just not how it works. It's a full-time job, folks. That's why you do it in one setting, and you have to kind of watch it the whole time. That's another reason why most day traders have a lot of gray hairs, just like mortgage bankers and a few others. I'm spoken from experience. I was a mortgage banker for a few years too, and I put some white hair in my beard, and I didn't love it. And I was also day trading too. So honestly, that whole thing is not conducive to just being super healthy. Again, just personal opinions here. But if you're finding a lot of discomfort in being a day trader, maybe you want to pivot and transition over to becoming a little more consistent with swing trading. It's just so much nicer. Again, some folks can't hang by leaving a trade open overnight, and that's okay. It's not for everyone. But if you use proper risk tolerance, risk management, and you're just like, you're not being an emotional idiot, as I like to call it, you're probably going to be just fine. Anyways, I have a trading university academy. My community is phenomenal too. We've got our plus bots. Well, you saw that. These are the results there. But I would recommend interacting with my community. We've got some phenomenal admins and some really good traders in our group. But a lot of them are day traders too, by the way. I think that's why I mentioned that. Ichimoku Cloud on the hourly, we can see here, 100% green light, good to go. Do not short into this, okay? There's a lot of confirming factors letting us know that there's no reason to consider a short at this time. In fact, I think somebody in the community, I don't know, I don't remember the name, but somebody was talking about how they mistakenly shorted into this uptrend, and they wish they hadn't, and they went to bed thinking about like just how many times I say don't short this coin right now, right? So again, the trend is up. That's a simple way to understand it. Can the price pull back down? Yeah, of course it will. There's going to be somebody that watches this video later and says, "Oh, it didn't go up, Cash. You're an idiot." Well, no, the truth is, it's supposed to come down, but you don't short into that because the risk is inherently larger, not only for a short trade, but to short into an uptrend like this just makes no sense at all. So anyways, I'll get off my soapbox there. I hope you understand. I'm always looking out for your best interest by saying that. So please recognize that I mean no disrespect if you are doing the opposite of what I recommend. Everyone has to learn their own way, and that's cool. I've just done this for over 20 years now, and I've learned a lot of ways not to do things. So that's why I try to ingrain some good stuff in your psyche there. Another good thing too, be sure to check this out. If you've been using Bitunix, they have a Rolex and a MacBook Pro this month here for volume rewards. That's individual. It's not like there's a limit there. Anyone can qualify for that. So just bear that in mind. And also I'm going to post a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. That's available there for you if you're curious. Okay, so check it out. It's all there. I do look forward to working with you though either way. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.